Hello students, so today we will do question part 1 of some basic concepts of chemistry. Disclaimer: the images used in our slide deck are for educational purposes only. We respect the intellectual property rights of the original creator and owners of these images. If you are the owner of any of the images used in the deck and have any concerns or issues, please contact us at sathi@iitk.ac.in. The index will be practice question 1 to 13 and there will be a summary ahead of it. Question 1. So the question says that the correctly reported answer to the of the addition of 4.523, 2.3 and 6.24 will have significant figures. So there are four options. Options are 2, 3, 4 and 5. So you have some time to solve this question. So your time begins now. Let us see the answer. So first of all, this was the question. So we have to find the number of significant figure in the sum of these three numbers, which is 4.523, 2.3 and 6.24. So for this, the correct option is B. So very simple, we have to add these three numbers. So we will add these three numbers. For that, we will get 13.603. Now, what will be the number of significant figures? So for the significant figure, what we have to do is we have to see that out of these three, which has the least number of decimal places. Okay, so it is for 2.3, that is 1. Therefore, the sum should be reported to one decimal place only. So what does this mean? So for this, by this we mean that we have to look upon that number which has the least number of digit after decimal. So in case of 4.523 there are 3 digits, in case of 2.3 there is 1 digit, and in case of 6.24 there are 2 digits. So for 2.3 the digits are minimum after the decimal. So for answer also we will take the digits such that it is equals to that number. So it is 1 in case of 2.3, so we will take one digit only after decimal, which will give us 13.0. Okay, now that is your number will be 13.0. So therefore sum should be reported to one decimal place only, and hence your answer is B. So if you just round it off to the first decimal, then it will give us 13.1, because 13.063 has 6 at the after the digit. So say we have to drop 6 from 6, right? So 13.0 we have to keep. Okay, so 6.3 we have to drop. So if we drop 6.3, then 6 is greater than 5. Then to round off it, we will increase the last digit by plus 1. So that will give us 13.1. Therefore, we have three significant figures. Question number 2. A student performs a titration with different burettes and find lead tighter values of 25.2 ml, 25.25 ml, 25.0 ml. The number of significant figures in the average tighter value is: option are A 1, B 2, C 3 and D 4. Now you have some time to solve this question. Your time starts now. Now let us see the correct answer. Again, if you just try to understand this question, we have to simply average these three terms, which is this, and then we have to find the number of significant in the resulting number. So the correct option is C. So to calculate the average value, we will add these three values and divide it by 3, which will give us 75.453. Now, if we divide it by 3, we will get it as 25.15. So we have now at last what we have done, again we have taken 3 digits consider three digits. Okay, the one number which has the least number of digits after decimal is 25.2 and 25.0. So we, in the answer also, we will take that digit. Okay, we will take that digit after which the decimal is having next to it. Okay, so we will take 25.1 and we will round off using the next digit, that will give us 2. Why we have got 2 here? Because it is equals to 5. The digit from where we have to start dropping the number is equals to 5. So we see the next number to it and we see it is odd. So we add a number of plus 1 to it. So this will give us 25.2 ml. So the number of significant figure will be 3. Question number 3. A metal oxide contains 53% metal and carbon dioxide contains 27% carbon. Assuming the law of reciprocal proportions, the percentage of metal in the metal carbide is, the options are A 75%, B 25%, C 37% and D 66%. You have some time to solve this question. Your time starts now. Let us look at the answer now. So what we have to do is we have to take two type of oxides. So one is a oxide of carbon and one is a oxide of metal. So basically dioxide of carbon we have to take, which is having 27% carbon, and your metal oxide has 53% metal. Okay, now we have to apply the law of reciprocal proportions and the percentage of metal in the metal carbide is to be found out. The correct option is answer A. So in metal oxide it is given already that your metal is 53%. So your oxygen will be 47%. Similarly in CO2 your carbon percentage is given as 27%. So your oxygen will be 73%. Now we can say that 73 parts of oxygen combines with 27 parts of carbon. Very easy to understand. So we can see that 73% is containing 27. So we can say that 73 parts of oxygen combines with 27 parts of carbon. Therefore, 47 parts of oxygen will combine with how many parts of carbon? So that will give us 27 by 73 multiplied by 47. We have simply used the unitary method to solve this and we get 17.38 parts of carbon. Okay. Now, thus metal and carbon will be present in 53 is to 17.38. Got it? Clear? Again, what we have done, so we have calculated, so we know that already that 73 part of oxygen has 27 part of carbon. So we have calculated it for the we have calculated it for the carbon again. So 47 parts of oxygen will combine with 17.38 of carbon. Okay, so therefore metal carbon will be in the ratio 53 is to 17.38. Now what will be the percentage? So for that 53 plus 17.38 multiplied by 100. So calculate the percentage, it's very easy. Okay, so that will give us 75.3, or you can write it approximately 75%. Question 4. Two oxides of metal were found to be 31.6%, 48% of oxygen respectively. If the formula of first is represented by M2O3, then the formula of second is, options are A MO3, B MO2, C M2O and D M2O2. You have some time to solve this question. Your time starts now. Let us see the answer. So there are two oxides of metal. We know that they are 31.6 and 48% of oxygen are contained in these two metal oxides. Now we have represented the formula of M2 by M2O3. Then what is the formula of the second? We have to find it out. Okay. So the correct option is A. So we know that the first oxide is M2O3. With the help of that, we can calculate the metal percentage. Okay. So it is already given 68.4%. Now you can calculate the metal. What? You can calculate the metal moles, right? So we know that the moles of carbon can be calculated by given mass by molar mass. Before that, we will consider that your unknown metal oxide will have the formula MxOY, where X and Y are for metal and Y is for oxygen respectively. And here also your oxygen percentage is given for the second thing. It is 48% and 52%. Very simple to calculate. So if we know the oxygen percentage, we can calculate the metal percentage by subtracting 100. Same goes for the initial oxide, that is M2O3. Now, according to the first one, we know that 68.4 gram of metal in first oxide contain 2 atoms of metal. Okay, we know that. Now 52 gram of metal will contain 2 into 52 by 68.4, that is 1.5 atom of metal, right? Therefore, 31.6 gram of oxygen in first oxide will contain 3 atom of oxygen, and now 48 gram will contain 3 into 48 by 31.6, that is 4.5 atoms of oxygen. So we got these three ratio. Now we will divide these two ratios, which will give us 1:3. So the formula is MO3. Question number 5. The equivalent weight of H3PO2 when it disproportionates into pH3 and H3PO4 is, so the options are 80 to 61.5. Okay, then we have 33% C and D 20.5%. So you have 10 seconds to solve this question. Your time starts now. Let us see the answer. So the question was the equivalent weight of H3PO2 when it disproportionates into pH3 and H3PO4 is. So the correct option is C. Now let us first write the balanced chemical equation. So this is the balanced chemical equation. Now first we will write the oxidation state. Very easy to calculate. For oxygen we have taken -2, hydrogen +1 for all of this, and accordingly we have kept the compound neutral, that is oxidation state will be 0, and we found the oxidation state of phosphorus. We find it very easily that phosphorus is getting +1 to -3, so this is reduction, and +1 to +5, so this is oxidation. What is the molecular weight of H3PO2? It is 3 plus 31 into 32. Simple addition, which will give us 66 unified mass. Now, NF is what? Your N factor is N1 multiplied by N2 by N1 plus N2. Now, where N1 is what? N1 is the number of electrons involved in oxidation reaction. So, what are the number of electrons involved in oxidation reaction? So, since we are going from +1 to +5, therefore N1 is 4. And for the reduction reaction, we are going from +1 to -3. For this, N2 is 4 again. So we will calculate the N factor. 4 into 4 by 4 plus 4. That will give us 2. So this is the N factor. The equivalent weight is simply what? Molecular weight by 2. That is your N factor. So we got it as 33U. Okay. So two things are there to remember in this question. The formula to calculate the N factor and the formula to calculate the equivalent weight, which is molecular weight by N factor. Question number 6. 3 gram of an oxide of metal is converted to chloride completely and it yielded 5 gram of chloride. The equivalent weight of the metal is. Options are A 33.25, B 3.325, C 12 and D 20. Let us look at the answer. So the question says that we have a 3 gram of an oxide of metal and this 3 gram is converted to chloride completely. So we are getting chloride of metal and this yielded us 5 gram of chloride. So the equivalent weight of metal we have to calculate. The correct option is A. Now weight of metal oxide by weight of metal chloride is equals to equivalent weight of metal by equivalent plus equivalent weight of oxide, right? Divided by equivalent weight of metal plus equivalent weight of chloride. So we know the weight of metal oxide, it is 3 and this is 5. Now next, so how we have done this? Very simple. We know the formula equivalent weight is equals to n factor. Okay, weight by n factor. So since the n factor is same in both these cases, so this cancels out, and upon doing this thing, we get it as E plus 8 by E plus 35.5. So for both metals, it will be E, which gives us your equivalence of weight of metal. If you calculate this, so 5E plus 14 is equals to 3E plus 106.5. That will give us E is equals to 33.25. This is your answer. Question number 7. Seawater contains 65 into 10 to the power minus 3 gram per liter of bromide ions. If all the bromide ions are converted to produce Br2, how much seawater is needed to produce 1 kg Br2? Options: A 15.38, B 15.38 into 10 to the power 3 liter, 7.69 into 10 to the power 3 liter, and 76.9 liter. Let us try to solve this. So you have 10 seconds to solve this question. Your time starts now. Let us see the answer. So it is said that we have seawater and its bromide concentration is 65 into 10 to the power minus 3 gram is present in each liter. Okay. Now if all the bromide ion are converted to produce Br2, then how much seawater is needed to prepare 1 kg Br2? Correct option is B. The solution, if we look at it, so to convert Br minus to Br2, we have to look upon this balanced equation. Now equivalence of Br minus should be equal to equivalence of Br2. Therefore, we can calculate the equivalence by dividing weight by this. Okay. So weight of Br minus by 80 is equals to 10 to the power 3 by 160 by 2. That will give you the weight of Br minus as 10 to the power 3. Clear? Now the seawater needed would be 10 to the power 3 by 65 into 10 to the power minus 3. Okay, and that will be equals to 15.38 into 10 to the power 3 liter. Question number 8. 0.376 gram of aluminium reacted with an acid to displace 0.468 gram liter of H2O measured in standard condition. Equivalent volume of H2 formed is, so equivalent mass of aluminium is already given, 9 gram per equivalence. Options are 22.4 liter, 5.6 liter, 11.2 liter, and 2.24 liter. You have 10 seconds to solve this question. Your time starts now. Now let us look at the solution. So what is given is that we have taken 0.376 gram of aluminium, and what we have done is we have reacted it with acid to displace 0.468 liter of hydrogen. So 0.376 gram of aluminium is reacting with 0.468 liter of hydrogen, and hydrogen is taken at standard condition. Next, what we have to calculate? We have to calculate the volume of H2 that will be formed. Equivalent volume of H2 formed is how much? And equivalent mass is already given as 9 gram per equivalence. The correct answer for this will be C. So, according to our given question, 0.376 gram of aluminium will react with 0.468 liter of H2O. Now, number of equivalents of aluminium will be how much? It will be 0.468 liter of H2. Clear? Now, 0.376 by 9 equivalent of aluminium is your thing that is reacting with 0.468 liter of hydrogen. Okay, so very simple. What they have done, they have calculated the equivalence of aluminium by dividing it by the equivalent mass. Now one equivalent of aluminium will have 11.2 liter of H2. Okay, very clear from that. So what we have done, we have simply used the unitary method. For 1 gram, we will divide this 0.468 by 0.367 by 9 to get it as 11.2 liter of hydrogen. Question number 9. The same amount of a metal combines with 0.200 gram of oxygen and 3.17 gram of halogen. Hence, equivalent mass of halogen is question number 1. So, question number 9. Options are A 127 gram, B 80 grams, C 35.5 gram, and D 9 grams. What are the options? So, these 4 are the options. Your time starts now. Let us look at the solution. So, it is said that we are taking the same amount of metal and we are reacting with it with oxygen and halogen both. For oxygen, we are reacting it with 0.200 gram, and for halogen, we are reacting it with 3.17 gram. So, what is the equivalent mass of halogen that we have to calculate? The correct answer is A. According to this, we know that the equivalence of the equivalence of oxygen and halogen are equal. So, 0.20 gram of oxygen will be equivalent to 3.17 gram of halogen. Now, number of gram equivalents of oxygen is equals to number of gram equivalents of halogen, as I have said it earlier. So, what will be the equivalent mass? Equivalence of gram equivalence, it will be given mass by equivalent mass. So, we will substitute for both oxygen and halogen, and then we will get this equation. So, putting the values, so for this, we have put the values all along. So, 3.17 by 0.20 multiplied by 8. Clear? So, this will give us 6.8 grams or 127 grams as your answer. Question number 10. If we consider 1 by 6 in place of 1 by 12 mass of carbon 12 atom is taken to be the relative atomic mass unit, the mass of 1 mole of carbon will be. Options are to be function of the molecular mass of the substance, remain unchanged, increase twofold, decrease twice. Let us see the solution. Before that, you have 10 seconds to solve this question. Your time starts now. So, what we are doing is we are taking 1 by 12 instead of 1/6, and then we have to see what is the mass of 1 mole of the substance with this new standard. So, the correct answer is B. So, it will remain same, okay, since mass of carbon is still the same. What is the reason behind it? Because we are still keeping the mass of carbon same. Due to that reason, although we take 1 by 6 instead of 1 by 12, we will get the same mass for 1 mole of a substance. So new AMU is equals to 2 times your AMU, right? Because we are taking 1 by 12, so it will become 2 AMU. Now Na in case of first case is N by 2. Since the weight of carbon corresponding to atomic weight becomes 6 gram in place of 2N. And Na is old Avogadro's number, where Na1 is new Avogadro's number. And we know that the mass of 1 mole of carbon atom is how much? 1 mole of a substance is how much? Na into Mu. Simple. So if you put all these values, you will get the new atomic mass equal to old atomic mass. So Na1 multiplied by 1 Amu and Na2 multiplied by 2 Amu. That will be equals to Na multiplied by Amu. Okay, so that will give you the old atomic mass. Question number 11. How many moles of magnesium phosphate, that is Mg3 PO4 whole twice, will contain 0.25 mole of oxygen atoms? Options are 0.02, 3.152, 10 to the power minus 2, 1.25 into 10 to the power minus 2 C, and D is 2.5 into 10 to the power minus 2. You have 10 seconds to solve this question. Your time starts now. Let us see the solution. So it was asked that what moles of magnesium phosphate contain 0.25 moles of oxygen. The correct answer is B. Now for 1 Mg3PO4 whole twice, we have 8 moles of oxygen atom. So in 1 mole of Mg3PO4 whole twice, we have 8 mole of oxygen atom. So 0.25 mole of oxygen atom are contained in how much? So that is 1 by 8 into 0.25. That is 3.125 10 to the power minus 2 is your answer. Question number 12. Question number 12 is rearrange the following 1 to 4 in the order of increasing masses and choose the correct answer. Your atomic mass for oxygen is given 16, for copper is 63, for nitrogen is 14. Now, the one numeral is one molecule of oxygen, the two numeral is one atom of nitrogen, three numeral is 1 into 10 to the power minus 10 gram molecular weight of oxygen, and fourth numeral is 1 into 10 to the power minus 10 gram atomic weight of copper. Your options are 2134 for A, B 4321 for C, 1314, okay, for D 3412. Okay, clear? Now, next, you have 10 seconds to solve this question. Your time starts now. Let us see the solution. So, according to this, the order of increasing masses, and we have to choose the correct answer. So, what is the order? So for this, we have to calculate the mass of each of this. For 1 mole of molecule of oxygen, 1 atom of nitrogen, we calculate mass of each of this. 3 and 4 mass is already given. So, but gram atomic weight is given, not your actual mass. So let us see how I will calculate it. The correct option is A. So for 1 molecule of oxygen, it will be simply 32 by 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 gram, because mass of one carbon atom is 1 mole of carbon atom is 32, and there are Na number of carbon atom is 32 grams. So therefore, for one molecule, it will be simply 32 by Na, that is 5.3 into 10 to the power minus 23 grams. Option 2, 1 atom of nitrogen. Now, again it will be 14 by 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. So in this case, we have not a molecule, we have atom. See? So for one atom, so for 14 gram, we have Na number of atoms. So for one atom, we have 14 by Na. That is 2.3 into 10 to the power minus 23 gram. Option third. So 10 to the power minus 10 molecular weight of oxygen. So this is molecular weight is given, gram molecular weight. So we'll simply multiply it by the molar mass. So 10 to the power minus 10 multiplied by 32 will give you 3.2 into 10 to the power minus 9 gram of oxygen. Option number 4, 10 to the power minus 10 gram atomic weight of copper. So again, we will multiply this value by 63.5, which is the molar mass of copper, and that will give you 6.35 into 10 to the power minus 9 gram of copper. So therefore, the correct answer is 2134. Your option is C. Sorry. Question number 13. Question says that number of atoms in the following samples of substances is largest in. Options are 4 gram of hydrogen, 70 gram of chlorine, 127 gram of iodine, and 48 gram of magnesium. You have 10 seconds to solve this question. Your time starts now. Let us see the solution. So we have to calculate the number of atoms in each of this, and we have to see which one has the largest. So the correct option is A. So number of atoms is what? Weight by atomic weight into Na into species. Very simple. So for 4 gram of oxygen, first we'll divide the 4 by 2 to get the number of moles, and then we will multiply it by Na and by 2, because each hydrogen atom, hydrogen molecule has 2 hydrogen atoms. So we multiply it by 2. That will give you 4 Na. Clear? So here the species is equals to 2 because hydrogen is present as H2. It is also mentioned here. So in 71 gram of fluorine, what will be the way to solve it? Again, number of atoms is equals to given weight by molar mass. So 71 by 1 multiplied by Na multiplied by 2, because again chlorine is a what? It is a diatomic molecule. So this will again give you 2 Na. Next is 127 gram of iodine. Again, iodine is what? It is a diatomic molecule. So 127 by 127 will give you the number of atoms, multiplied by Na will give you the number of molecules of your iodine, multiplied by 2 will give you the number of atoms of iodine. That is 2Na again. Now in last case, in 48 gram of oxygen, magnesium, so the molar mass for magnesium is 24. Now in this case, we have to multiply it by Na, but we don't have to apply it by the number 2. Why? In all cases, they were diatomic molecule, but this is not diatomic, it is monoatomic, as it is a metal. That will give you 2Na again. So here magnesium is present as magnesium, so we have taken it as 1. It is also mentioned here. Therefore, 4 gram of hydrogen is the largest amount. Clear? This was for today's class.